I feel deeply concerned for Maurice Benard after hearing about his recent health emergency. He's been a staunch advocate for mental health awareness, but it's clear he may not have recognized his own triggers amidst the demanding storyline. His portrayal of Sonny has shown signs beyond typical character acting, reflecting personal struggles that seem to have affected his demeanor on screen. It's evident he's been struggling, displaying uncertainty with his lines and a noticeable shift in temperament. Maurice's dedication to this storyline is commendable, but perhaps the intensity has taken a toll on him. It might be wise for him to take some time to regroup and prioritize his own well-being. This storyline is pivotal, and while it's challenging to pause it, it could be beneficial to consider a temporary substitute for Maurice to ensure his health and allow him to recover fully. Looking back, if the intention was to portray a character with bipolar disorder, involving Maurice himself or his character Sonny in mentoring the actor could have been a beneficial approach, similar to his past involvement with mentoring for Morgan's character. Ultimately, I hope the show handles this situation with sensitivity and care for Maurice's health. It's important to prioritize his recovery and well-being, even if it means making adjustments to the storyline in the short term. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Messy Syrup. It's me, Abby, here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching, so let's dive into today's video. On the other hand, there's a lot of debate about Jason's role as a father and his actions over the years. While he's had moments of trying to connect with his children, there are also significant criticisms. Inconsistent presence. Jason's career and the dangers associated with it have often kept him away from his children. Despite having relationships with Christina, Molly, Michael, Morgan, Jocelyn, and Emma, he hasn't always been consistent in their lives, citing the risks involved. Prioritizing others. There have been instances where Jason put Carly's children, like Michael and Jocelyn, ahead of his own. This includes significant decisions, such as going to prison to protect Michael instead of stepping up for his own son, Jake. Relationship struggles. His relationships with Elizabeth and Sam have been tumultuous. He refused to acknowledge Jake as his son initially due to safety concerns and prioritized Carly's needs over his children's emotional support during crisis. Mistakes and choices. Jason's decisions, such as marrying Carly without involving his sons, have been seen as neglectful towards Jake and Danny. His focus on mob-related issues over family emergencies has also been criticized, leaving his children feeling unsupported. Financial support. There are concerns about Jason's financial contributions to his children's lives, particularly regarding child support. This has been a point of contention with Sam and Elizabeth, who have expressed dissatisfaction with his level of involvement and support. In summary, while Jason has had moments where he attempted to be there for his children, his career choices, prioritization of others, and inconsistent presence have led to criticisms of him being labeled as a deadbeat father. His actions, particularly in comparison to his commitments to others and his job, have contributed to these perceptions among fans and characters on the show. However, Jonathan Jackson is beloved as Lucky Spencer for several reasons that resonate with longtime General Hospital viewers. Longevity and growth. Jackson began playing Lucky at a young age, which allowed viewers to see him grow up on screen. His portrayal of Lucky was layered and evolved over time, capturing the complexities of adolescence and adulthood. Emotional depth. Jackson brought a depth of emotion to Lucky that resonated with audiences. His ability to convey vulnerability, strength, and inner turmoil made Lucky a relatable and compelling character. Chemistry with co-stars. He had remarkable chemistry with his co-stars, particularly with Rebecca Herbst, Elizabeth Weber. Their on-screen romance with Liz was central to his character's development and remains iconic in GH history. Iconic storylines. Jackson's Lucky was involved in some of the show's most memorable storylines, including his romance with Liz, the Spencer-Cassidy feud, and struggles with addiction. These plots showcased his acting range and deepened his connection with viewers. Return to roots. His return to the role in later years, such as in 2016, was highly anticipated by fans who appreciated his original portrayal. While newer viewers might not have seen his earlier work, his impact on the character and the show's history is significant. Overall, Jonathan Jackson's portrayal of Lucky Spencer is cherished for its authenticity, emotional resonance, and the way it shaped the character's journey over the years. His return to General Hospital always generates excitement among fans who fondly remember his original tenure and the impact he had on the show. Additionally, how do you think Esme would have felt about Heather's case potentially being reopened? Initially, when she regained her memory, Esme seemed unsure about her parents. As I recall, she was occasionally willing to visit Heather in prison. However, the influence of her darker side ultimately took over, leading to her supposed demise. If Esme were to return and learn about recent developments in Heather's case, do you think she would support reopening it? Or do you believe her only interest would be visiting Heather in prison? And I understand Heather expressed her wish not to reopen her case, but I suspect the storyline isn't over yet. I believe Esme would likely support reopening the case. However, her stance might depend on her state of mind upon returning. A vengeful and unstable Esme might relish the idea of Heather being released as a defiant gesture towards Port Charles residents. Conversely, if Esme has regained clarity and is focused on reconciling with what she's done and reuniting with Ace, she might advocate for Heather's release to have a mother figure in her life again. Moreover, based on Friday's episode, here are my predictions, even though I'm not a fan of them. With Jake's departure, Lucky returns home and Lulu wakes up, or the other way around. Dant struggles between Sam and Lulu, but chooses Lulu. Sam faces a dilemma between Dant and Jason, but opts for Jason. Lucky and Liz reconcile and start a relationship. This is how I see things unfolding. I prefer Liason, but it seems unlikely. I like Sam, but not with Jason. I preferred her with Dante. It's sad to see Jake leave. He was a great teenage actor. I really hope I'm wrong. On the other hand, random thought. Need help with the history here. So Franco is Heather's son, right? Didn't he have a brain tumor? Was that genetic or something else? Because this hip replacement storyline seems far-fetched. Wouldn't it have been more logical to link it to a tumor or a genetic condition, like tying it back to Franco? I do enjoy this Heather storyline, but I'm not sold on the hip toxicity part. You're correct. It would have been more compelling with a tumor connection related to Franco. I guess anything's possible, but given Heather's long history of criminal behavior, it would have made more sense to explore something from her past, maybe something from her childhood, rather than recent medical issues. When did the hip replacement happen? Was it last year? In one episode, they mentioned her hip replacement was decades ago, possibly 20 to 30 years, but Heather was involved in criminal activities long before that. They seem to be retconning her early behavior as quirky rather than truly dangerous. A tumor storyline might have been more coherent, but metallosis and toxicity from metal-on-metal implants, like chromium and cobalt, can indeed lead to serious mental health issues, including dementia, depression, and delusional jealousy. However, I wish they would give Portia a different storyline. It's always her intensely focused on her daughter. I understand her concern, but it would be refreshing to see her involved in something else. They've made her character overly intense about everything, both personal and hospital-related. Maybe softening her personality could add some depth, just my 2 cents. I actually liked Portia when she first appeared, but now I find her a bit overwhelming. Everyone fights hard for their kids, even when they don't have to. Shouldn't Portia be concerned about Trina? It feels like there's more to her frustrations than just that. She was also once in Jordan's face when she felt Jordan was meddling in her relationship with Curtis before they got married. I used to be a fan, but now I find her annoying and self-righteous. Her hostility towards Laura is concerning. I do think Heather should be locked away. It's a tough situation. Additionally, how disappointing to hear Sasha spilling Nina and Willow's business, not to mention Drew's, to Cody of all people. With the stable doors wide open, anyone could have been lurking about. She violated the girl code by sharing secrets with Cody, who is friends with both Nina and Willow. As a Sasha fan, loved her chemistry with Johnny Wachter. It's disappointing to see her behave this way. Her relationship with Cody is portrayed as boring. Both are employees of the Quartermaines, living on the same grounds. Sasha's recent demeanor, dressed casually and often surrounded by hay, seems far removed from her glamorous past. Was gossiping about her friends the only conversation she could muster? It might be time for Sasha to consider another career change. Given her experience in the fashion world as the face of deception, perhaps a job at Crimson could be a fit. This storyline with Cody feels stale, and it's time for the writers to move on. They've attempted to make it work, but perhaps it's best to place Sasha and Cody in the friend zone. I think Cody and Maxie would make a perfect match. With James benefiting from having both parents together, they could form a strong family unit. As for Sasha, maybe a new love interest could come along and sweep her off her feet. Maxie and Spinelli's high-energy dynamic suggests they're better suited as friends now rather than romantic partners. Regarding Spinelli and Sam's actions, hacking into the FBI and stealing Jagger's phone should have consequences. It's a serious offense that could lead them into legal trouble. Moreover, I find it strange and unnecessary to suddenly introduce a doorman at Laura and Kevin's building, especially when guests like Trina have never been announced before. Trina has visited multiple times and has always been welcome without any need for announcement, so this new detail feels out of place in the story. What are your thoughts? Drop them in the comments below. Do you agree or disagree? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates. Your opinions are important, and I look forward to hearing from you in the next video. Thank you.